Welcome back to another Star Wars Legion painting tutorial for probably was one of the easier ones out of the four factions, the Imperial Stormtrooper. But if you do it right with the right paints and follow this little guide, they'll look quite nice when they're on the tabletop. Obviously, my style is it won't win you many competitions, but the paints I use make them come out quite well.
Okay, so here we have our Stormtrooper base coated and primed. So I used Army Painter matte white. White's probably the best colour for this guy since most of the model is white anyway. But what I would do is I get a regular tub or pot of your primer paint to go over any areas you miss, which is easy to do with these guys since their undercoat is their normal colour is grey. So the first step, we're going to be going over the entire model apart from the weapon or weapons using contrast apothecary white. So basically this makes it very light grey but gets into all the creases and actually does a little bit of the detail that we don't need to go over later. So we'll apply it over the whole model, we'll watch it dry, we'll see the end results once it's dry and be the judge of it. I think it's quite good. Okay, so that is the apothecary white dry. As you can see, it makes quite a good effect. So next, we're going to be going all the inner bits of the armour, so like the bits where you can see the body glove, and we're going to be doing the helmet using contrast black Templar. So as you can see, the joints in the armour are done. So the most prevalent is like just by the groin area. Just keep an eye out. The gloves as well, do them. You can see the front of the mask and the eyes as well is done here. So now we're going to be doing the weapons using contrast black Legion. Okay, so that is the weapon done using contrast black Templar. This is still a bit wet, so once it's dry it does look quite nice. So really, painting the model, we're pretty much done really. Any extra detail feel free to add. I'm just doing these quite nice generic simple stormtroopers, trying to get them done as quickly as possible. Essentially what I'm trying to do is a nice easy painting tutorial, a few steps as possible. So next we're going to be going on to the base, so I'm just going to be going around the edge of the base in black, because the normal colour for these guys is like a dark grey. And go with black because it looks quite nice, but at this point you can do whatever colour you want. But so if you don't want to know any basing tips, you can probably stop the video here, but I'll go all the way through to a finished base. So we'll do the black and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so that is the base painted black, so now we're going to start adding texture to the base. So we're going to be using AK terrains, which I think is brilliant stuff. And we're going to be using Dark Earth. They do loads of different ones, desert ones, as you will see from my Clone Wars stuff. But basically apply this using a texture spreader or an old brush. Apply it over the base and let it dry, and it looks really good when it's dry, which we'll see once it's done. Okay, so our texture effect is dried nicely now, so what we're going to be adding is some static grass and a few tufts to the base. So I'll add all them and then you can see the finished result. Okay, and here is our Stormtrooper finish. So with the base it does add a nice little bit of detail and contrast against the white as my son tries to break into the room to play with me. So there we go. And what I tend to do is I add a little 1 on the back so we can tell which unit it is. So obviously the game says you can use tokens, but there's going to be a lot of tokens on the board. You could also colour code the model, painting something on the model, a different colour for each unit, different coloured flowers, or you could paint the edge of the base a different colour for each unit, but it's whatever you fancy really at the end of the day. So hope you found this useful. It's not really going to win you any competitions, but it does get it done nice and quickly, so you can end up playing this awesome game. So there we go.